Leave it up on this next car, yo.
Now, people, two persons sustained injuries during a two-vehicle crash on the Winston Jones Highway near Marshall's Pen in Mandeville on Thursday morning. Preliminary reports indicate that at approximately 7:49 a.m., two vehicles, a Honda Vizel motorcar and a Honda Grace motorcar, were traveling in opposite directions when the collision occurred. Eyewitnesses claim that the Vizel was overtaking traffic when it collided with the Honda Grace. The impact caused the Vizel to go off the road and spin. A woman who was traveling in the Grace sustained serious injuries and was quickly transported to hospital. However, the driver of the Vizel was pinned inside the vehicle. A resident from Marshall's Pen used a crowbar to open the jam door to free the driver. A nurse also assisted the injured driver. He was transported to hospital shortly after 8 a.m. People, we can say hip hip hooray, no one was killed in that accident. Me I tell us them accident nowadays not normal, you know. You hear? Careless overtaking cause this, you know. Drivers, no need to be careful. Yes, make ways. Cause see now, you try overtake a line of traffic to reach which part you are go and you end up crash and all. No, you not reach, you know. So, right there, so, you're supposed to see say the overtaking never makes sense. It better you just stay in the traffic and take a little time, you would have reached where you're going right now. But now you have to be at hospital, seen in a one different condition. Boy, rough. Anyway, this lady on your screen is a pharmacist, and she is here talking about Tyra Spualding, who allegedly took her 3 points. Now, she's saying that whenever you are seeking help for anything at all, you have to seek the physical help and the spiritual help, because some people are seek spiritual help only and not seeking the physical help. People, give a listening ear and let me know what you all think about what she's saying in the comment section.
So by now, many of us in Jamaica would have watched the videos shared by Tyra Spualding, the Miss Universe contestant who unfortunately is no longer with us. Today is World Pharmacist Day, September 25th. September 25th. And having been a pharmacist since 2005, I just wanted to add a little voice out there because you know what? I have me, I have my kids, I have family members, I have friends, I have loved ones who may think that life is just too much. Yeah, that's a real thing for a lot of people. Now, as a Christian, as a believer who is a pharmacist, I want to add the word out there that medication, seeking medical help is actually biblical. If you look in the Bible makes reference to ointment. Believe it or not, the Bible is one of the oldest references for where compounding pharmacy, the mixing of medicine started. As a matter of fact, go further. The Bible, it has been in so many generations about healing herbs. Now, what am I getting at? I remember when I had a particular issue, my pastor said to me, Tisa, you can pray about it all you want, but the physical and the spiritual must align. What did he mean? He said, seek physical help as well. It was a particular difficult situation, and I remember acting in the physical and the spiritual. So as a pharmacist, from 2005 to now, that's 20 years of experience in the field, I just want to tell my family, my friends, and for those who are listening to this vlog, that the Tyra Spualding situation, that we're all so, it's really hurtful to see. I just want to remind somebody that the physical and the spiritual must align. Seeking God's help, the miracles in the Bible is one thing, but there's a physical thing we have to also do. So we need to actually go to the doctor, get help. Do you know that God's healing could be finding the right medicine? God's healing could be finding the right doctor, finding the right lab tests that unearth something that may be missed by other people. And so that is why you check one expert and go to a second expert and a third expert. And so when Jesus said, ask, knock, and seek, he spoke about the intensity of your seeking, asking first, knocking, then seeking, because there's actually intensity in going and seeking for help. Now, there's another story with pharmacy and medicines, and they'll tell you about Big Pharma. That's going on medications meant for mental health can actually increase the risk of that S word, especially in adolescents and young people, because their brains are not fully developed as yet. And so starting them too early on medications for mental health can actually be more harmful than good, which is why you have to have them on that S word watch list to make sure that they don't further harm, self-harm. So the story is not plain and straight when it comes on to mental health. And that is why it takes a community. Now, I remember going on internship at a particular hospital, and when they cared for these patients who suffered from different mental health issues, there's actually a group, the social worker, the doctors, the pharmacist, the psychologist or psychiatrist. It was a team of people that would review the case because the situation is so complex. Because the situation is so complex with the mind that you can't have one person treat you. You cannot. So that old adage that say it takes a community to raise a child, it takes a community to raise somebody who have mental health struggles. It is a true story, it's a true situation, and we see it unveiled many times, having been in the health profession. And so this situation with Tyra Spualding is heartrending, it's hurtful, because it could be anybody's family member. It could be any one of us. We are not too protected from the stressors of life. Now, when I watched her video, I heard many things. Going to church from 2023, having somebody who was in a pastoral mentorship position. She mentioned stress at work. She mentioned a broken relationship and going through issues with that broken relationship. She mentioned that she was prone to increased risk of injury. She mentioned no support and that she didn't know where else to turn. So there is a conglomerate of issues that was raised by this young lady. And you know, this is where I do my PatFig vlog. For those who do not know what PatFig means, it means personal professional advancement through faith in God. And so advancing personally and professionally doesn't mean you reach the pinnacle of success, but it means you navigate one stage, one season, one issue, one roadblock, one category at a time. And having reached this mid-age, the fabulous 40s, we would have seen many things in this world. And I just want to say that I got baptized at 13 years old, and I recommitted to the Christian walk at 30 years old. Because yes, we realize that this world is not an easy place. And you need divine wisdom. Actually, the book of Job, which talks about suffering and affliction, the book of Job, Job himself struggled. Job's wife himself tell him to get rid of himself. And Job said, I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. And Job had a group of persons who were around him. Job was never alone. And so I just want to encourage us as we go along this life's journey, that while we seek God's intervention in our situation, we must also act on the physical. So seeking help is a big part. But seeking help can also mean many things, because you need the right kind of help. You need a community of support in this particular situation. And so it was not an easy situation to see. And our hearts and family, our prayers and our hearts is really with the family. May her soul rest in peace. God bless you.
May God bless you too, my sister. Now, people, that was some good words of encouragement. He who have ears to hear, let him hear. Some people hear and still not do the right thing. So, people, please, me gonna just encourage somebody today. Here, encourage somebody to do the right thing for them life. Because somewhere along the line, which part you there right now, someone there is hurting mentally. So, if you can help in any form of way, just try help. If you see somebody look certain type of way, question them, because sometimes some people don't want to talk. But once you start questioning them, ask them questions, they will answer. So any which part of the people, just look out for each other, because the mental health, yeah, and our normal thing. Big up on yourself in real life. I'm out.